Hello again, folks. Now, before I begin, I put out a poll on my community page the other day asking you all if I should keep my berry on during videos, and overwhelmingly, 70% out of 20 thousand who voted said I should keep it on. So there we go. The people have spoken. The lid stays. So anyway, politics. We're not going to vote our way out of this. I realise that now. It's not going to happen. Things are happening at the top of the political mountain, Parliament, that's made me realise we're screwed. And I know sometimes I'm all doom and gloom, but it's the truth. You know, there is no good news in politics. That's because politicians rarely, if ever, do what we ask, don't they? Parliament is like a massive bubble. People go there, mainly lawyers. They do it for the money, prestige, privilege, whatever you want to call it. But they lead a very fairy tale type life. They're giving each other voting for pay rises every year while reducing our money, or we get pay rises, but inflation and taxes just nullify it. I've come to the conclusion that indirect democracy just doesn't work. It really doesn't. And I don't have the solution. People say to me, Paz, what do we do then? Who do we vote for? What do we do? And dudes and dudettes, I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea, because that answer isn't there, well, yet. Anyway, it really isn't. Now, we've got the local elections next week on the 1st of May. There are Reform candidates everywhere. Interestingly, in my area, in Aylesbury, the Labour candidate, she doesn't have Labour on her leaflets. Her leaflets are coloured green instead of the traditional Labour red. I wish I'd have kept it, really, but I binned it. Everyone bins their political leaflets, don't they? But if I get one, I'll show you. Anyway, you wouldn't think that this woman is Labour whatsoever. I saw that leaflet and I thought, oh, Green Party. Hang on, she's my local MP and the Greens aren't in power in this area. So what the hell's going on? So is she embarrassed to be Labour? She should be. And I really can't believe the other day there are people canvassing for Labour after everything Starmer and that cabinet, the government have done recently. Let people down, screwed people over. I wouldn't have the bollocks to, would you? I mean, these people are insane. They really are. They're out of touch middle-class socialists. Ladies and gents, that's what they are. They think people have forgotten already and they're not going to get confronted. I only wish I was indoors when they knocked on my door, put it that way. And that's what we get with the Uni Party. You can't really tell apart Labour nor Conservative these days. And I'm afraid to say, and people aren't going to like this, but it's the same as Reform. They are morphing, they are transforming slowly into the Uni Party. It's a wheel with two spokes. No one else is allowed in but Reform, because both spokes now are rusty on that wheel. Think of it like this, like a metaphor. That wheel, that Uni Party wheel, is rusty. Those two spokes, they need a hand now, because it's not supporting the wheel that goes round and round. It's like a mutual support. The wheel supports the spokes support the wheel. I hope you understand what I'm saying here. They need an extra spoke. That extra spoke is Reform. Reform is that extra spoke. It is turning, it is morphing, it is mutating into the Uni Party. So when you vote for Reform, it'll be no different, because what the hell does Reform stand for these days? Can anyone tell me in the comments, please? And I haven't come to this conclusion lightly. I really haven't. It's not like what they did to Rupert Lowe. I thought, oh, sod it, Tossers. There's loads of things. There's tons of stuff. So many questions. If I met Nigel Farage, I had a one-on-one with him, I'd be asking these questions, because he needs to be made to feel uncomfortable. If he's wanting to be the Prime Minister of our country, he needs to learn to deal with uncomfortable questions. Really. You can't have people like, what's her name, June Slater, is it? GB News personality. Why the hell she keeps popping up on my X, I don't know. I'm not following her on there, so X is getting weird these days as well. But she was with him the other day, and she had a chance to ask him proper questions, but no. She was like a big, massive fan, a groupie. She was starstruck. She reminded me of, the mainstream media reporters who surrounded Joe Biden and had chances to ask him loads of searching, hard questions, but no. Instead, they were like, Mr. President, what's your favourite ice cream? Chocolate. Why? What's the point of you doing your job? And people said to June, why didn't you ask these questions? And she came out with, well, I wasn't there in the capacity of an investigative journalist. You don't need to be a journalist to ask questions, June. She was up his hoop quicker than a desperate squaddy on a night out in Aldershot. And I should know. So there we go. Nigel Farage surrounding himself with yes men and only taking questions from groupies like June Slater. What's the point? I mean, really, what's the point? And then there's Katie Hopkins. All of a sudden, she's telling people to vote for that monster. She says she doesn't like Nigel Farage and vote for reform, don't vote for Nigel. Reform is Nigel. That's the whole point, Katie. It's not demographic. It's Nigel and Zia Youssef making the decisions behind closed doors. No one's input, especially the members or subscribers. You pay that 25 quid, you're a subscriber. You're not a member. You don't get anything in return. You get a sticker and a letter and that's it. That's all you get. You get no input whatsoever on policies, leadership, chairmanship, where the party's going, anything. You get nothing. They take your money and that's it. Happy? So yeah, if you vote for reform, you do vote for Nigel Farage. And I don't get it. She made videos, scathing videos, exposing Nigel Farage and reform and the infighting and telling us stuff that only she knew somehow. And now, all of a sudden, she wants us to vote for them. And why? Why the sudden turnaround? I know we hate Keir Starmer. And we are desperate to get him out of power because the guy's a tosser. He can't do he is doing his job. My mistake. He really is doing his job. His job is working for someone else. He isn't working for the British people, not even the Labour voters. He's not even working for them. He screwed them over to get to Parliament, to get to Downing Street. And yes, I would say get to Parliament as well. The guy's an out-and-out psychopathic liar with an end game, a goal, but it's set by someone else, not him, not the voters, not us. I wonder who it is. Let me know in the comments. And besides, Katie Hopkins has asked Farage quite a few times if she can speak at their event. So, that's one way of getting on board, I suppose, by telling people to vote for them. Make of that what you will. And like I said earlier, what the hell do reform represent? What do they stand for these days anyway? Because in my opinion, from what I've seen, and it's quite open, they've lurched to the left. This isn't the party I supported months ago. I was really excited, if you can remember, when Nigel Farage took over from Richard Tice. The party was going places. The Uni Party didn't like it. They were attacking Nigel Farage. He was getting assaulted, milkshaked. The mainstream media were just demonising him. I thought, oh yeah, he's definitely our man. But so many things, dude, have happened since then. The things he has said just makes me think, nah, I'm sorry, but no. What is wrong? You may unsubscribe for me for this, but what is wrong with me asking for better? I'm speaking for myself now, no one else. I deserve better. I want someone in Parliament who speaks for me, thinks like I do, and has the same love for Britain and our people as I do. The only person is Rupert Lowe. And that's it. Bust. There is no one else. If there is, let me know in the comments, but so far he is the only maverick stellar MP at the moment who speaks for the likes of me. Not Farage, not Lee Anderson, Richard Tice, never. And they got rid of him. They got rid of him and replaced him with dubious people. I mean, they've recruited now from Labour, Lib Dems and the Tories. The Tories who for the past 14 years did nothing. Just did things worse. Did things their own way for themselves. I mean, look at Brexit. The country voted for Brexit and they immediately replaced David Cameron with a Ramona in Theresa May. And that's it. And she didn't want to give us Brexit, and that's why she was booted out, because the people have had enough of her just beating around the bush and giving excuse after excuse after excuse. We had Boris Johnson. He gave us the Brexit we didn't want. We've never had Brexit as far as I'm concerned. I want it out. Out. ECHR, everything. Gone. I just want to trade with the EU and that's it. That's all I wanted. We can be friends with them, but we don't have to be a part of them because the EU was corrupt. Look at the way they're treating their member states. Anyway, that's another video for another time. I've done loads of EU videos in my day. I really have, arguing my point. Anyway, so Reform have recruited ex-Labour, Lib Dems of all people, Lib Dems, Tories into their midst. You got people like Sarah Pochin, a woman whose politics it's everywhere. All right, she's like a kite in the wind. 1 minute she's left, the next she's right. Now she's Reform. This is a woman who was booted out of one political party for voting in another political party member as mayor. There's loyalty for you. She's got the loyalty of a cat, that woman. She even attended a refugees welcome meeting in somewhere near Liverpool. Again, correct me in the comments, but she did. What the hell is Nigel Farage courting people like that into the Reform Party? It's not what I want. It's not what I want. I'm a voter. I was a Reform member, supporter, mouth back then, not long ago. And he does this. Then he said what he did about mass immigration. And here's the thing. He says it's not his ambition to deport illegal migrants, foreign criminals and crooks, gangs, whatsoever. It's impossible, he says. But now, all of a sudden, he's come up with this. When we get into power, we'll create a minister for deportations. There's no need. Why? You got a Home Secretary for that. And besides, there are 2 laws already in place as a tool for the Home Secretary, the Prime Minister, the British government to get rid of illegal migrants and foreign crooks, criminal gangs. Why not use that? Well, a load of waste of money a minister for deportations would be when you got the Home Secretary, who is there just for that. I'll tell you what this is. This is a knee-jerk reaction to Ben Habib the other day announcing he has 700 members ready and waiting for his yet-to-be-launched party. They have amassed £20,000 worth of donations, I believe, and they reckon it's going to be huge. It's going to be the Reform Party that Reform Party members wanted in the first place. And he's going to invite Rupert Lowe, and that's it then. It'll be game over for Reform. That's what they reckon. But that's what this announcement is. Zia Youssef and Nigel Farage, we're going to create a Minister of Deportations. Did the members, subscribers, did you get a chance to vote for that? No, of course you didn't. This is a knee-jerk reaction. It took Ben Habib to do this, to make Nigel Farage right-wing, finally. And that's the truth. I mean, there are so many questions. Take Neville Watson, for example. He is the chairman of the Enfield branch of Reform. He conducted an interview with the Guardian newspaper recently. I mean, the Guardian newspaper, of all things, saying that he's for reparations. Again, something that goes completely against, I believe, 99.9, or the vast majority of Reform voters. You don't want British taxpayers' money going to another people or another country whom suffered greatly at the hands of someone else a long time ago. Nothing to do with us today. Of course we think, we know slavery is wrong, but why the hell should we give our taxpayers' money to their descendants? Why? Yeah. And then there's another guy, Christopher Adegoke. He is the head, or he works for a company that dishes out student visas, which is all well and good. However, some of these student visas have been dodgy, and foreign students have been using them to come into the country and then disappear into the hulu, never to be found again. And there are many such people. The government's lost count ever since the Tories that this have happened. And Nigel Farage is courting this fella. This fella also believes in reparations as well, British taxpayers' money to the tune of millions, if not billions and trillions, for people who suffered hundreds of years ago at the hands of someone else, which is nothing to do with us. Is that something you'd vote for? Now, Farage and Reform, they have lurched to the left, but they need to remember, if they're courting centre-left voters like Nigel Farage said he wants, he's going to have to give them something back, which means a left-wing policy. And what left-wing policy would that be? As a right-wing Reform voter and supporter for years, are you happy with that? Did you ask for that? Did you get a chance to vote for that? Ask yourselves these questions. Oh, and also, when and if they do get into government and The only good thing about that is Keir Starmer's out, and that's it. Good for you. But when they do come to it and they announce mass deportations, who's going to go? The people who arrive illegally after they become government? Or is it them and those who became illegal migrants before? Who is it? Who's going to go? Are you going to ask the voters that as well? I doubt it. It's meaningless tosh. I think it's not going to happen. Absolutely not. He even said, if you speak out against the Muslims in Britain, you lose. Lose what exactly? Jesus Christ. Nigel Farage, if all this doesn't convince you that Reform are part of the Uni Party, they're going to be that third spoke, they're going to be the third man in that wheel of unison, the Uni Party wheel, then I don't know what is. I'm not telling you who to vote for. This is just my opinion. So there we go. I've seen and heard enough to convince me not to vote for them. If there's an independent who has my interests at heart in my area, I'll be voting for them. Why reward failure? Reform have failed me. They have failed you. If you were an original Reform member and voting like I was, then whatever it is now, this entity, it's completely different. It's not what we wanted. It's not what we voted for. It's not what we campaigned for or spoke out or supported. It's a different animal, and I don't recognise it personally. And if all this makes you unsubscribe from my channel, then fair enough. You are your own people. I won't hold it against you. It's your prerogative at the end of the day. It's only YouTube. It's only YouTube. I am a bloke with an opinion and an army beret on his head. And that's that. Anyway, there we go. I'm past 49. Let me know what you think in the comments as usual. And I'll catch you at the next one. Roger Trout.